Should we get started? I did a list expecting James not joining today. I can share my screen and we can start going through it. Uh, can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
All right. Uh, so again, we don't have usually James does this list. He's traveling. I did this list, and so word of warning is that it may be biased to some of the pull requests that I reviewed, issues that I've seen. Um, so first one, and I think we may need a tech lead or like someone from the team to review this. So usually these pull requests in the KK repository. So now they want to update the HCD image to 3.5.18. Usually they are waiting for a review from someone from our team before they actually move forward with it. Think it may be so recently we had I think recently like 2 days ago we got an issue in the etcd repository that there's a performance issue in 3.5.16 that it's affecting Kubernetes performance regression. So I think so Kubernetes should be already built with 3.5.17. So the regression shouldn't be there anymore. Um, but yeah, maybe if someone has the time to, oh, and actually I see that Fu just reviewed this. So maybe never mind about this one. Uh, so let's do review by Fu already. Then, so I have a couple of issues. Easy one. So this this contributor offered their help, but this was October 24th, 2024. So last year. Uh, this is this is a good first issue, I think. So it's documentation, good first issue. And the idea is that we wanna document. So if anybody has experience with Pro, basically what we wanna do is to add some documentation. Pretty much all lined up here. Like we need a new document that does this, specifies this. Um, but the contributor didn't reply nor open a pull request. So let's just follow up on this one. And we usually wait for 1 week to see if the contributor replies. And if he doesn't, then we can reassign. Um, all right. So that's an easy one. Follow up. Uh, I don't think we have Sijuan here. Uh, so yeah, I think we can close this task. We have Henry, right? I think Henry, you just did this. The migration of set member local ladder.
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
So I think, do we have anything outstanding, Henry?
I'm not sure if the cherry pick went through.
I think the I think the cherry pick is there. Let's see. I remember that full reviewed James, sorry, Benjamin reviewed. Yeah, so it's in here, so it's
Okay,
already
so yeah,
migrated.
that's good now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this is very fresh, but it's so I think we can close this one now. Uh, Right. So check with Sijuan. All right. Then this may not be a good first issue. It's a flaky test, but definitely we have the help wanted. I think we covered this in the previous triage meeting, but if anybody is interested in contributing, this is a good one. Definitely, maybe it's not the good first one, good first issue. We have a way to we have a way to quantify how much the test it's failing by using stress is in the documentation. So again, if someone wants to contribute, maybe first we want to see like how much it is flaking, how much is flaking, and from there we can try to close it. So yeah, call out for this task if someone wants to take it. So call out if someone wants grab it. Then I check this one. This seems like an abandoned pull request from July last year. Was doing some changes to what is this? Okay, so this contributor was working on etcd CTL, and then he wanted to migrate this Cobra util package from package Cobra util to etcd util. So I think Benjamin in the end identified that there was an exported function. If you go all the way to the bottom, so this function usage func, and that needs deprecation, even though like nobody should be using this. I think because it's an internal package, but the proper way of doing it is deprecating it. With the etcd 3.6 release happening very soon, I don't think this is gonna get into etcd 3.6, and it needs a release. So let's just leave a comment for the cover for the contributor during our triage meeting. Um, So basically, uh, I think Benjamin's approach is like we either don't change this, close the pull request, or add a deprecation notice, and he didn't. So I don't know. I feel it's too tight for a 3.6. Um, Also highlighting this task. So this is trying to find a so we have marker as a linter for markdown files. It just checks for broken links. So it doesn't really do a markdown linting other than checking for broken links. So in the end, the discussion, so this has some discussion. So we actually so when we migrated to the pro infrastructure, we needed to remove, so marker is green in Rust, and we needed the build time in Rust to generate the marker binary. So the idea is basically, so we did the work to generate the binary using, so we're now just using the binary and we don't need the Rust runtime. However, we want to do like more proper linting on markdown files. And so in So basically, in the etcd website repository, we're already linting using this Node.js project uh, that it's called, what is it called? Markdown lint CLI2. So the idea is that we do exactly the same as the same setup that we have in the website. We do the Markdown linting using a Node.js tool, and then we use a Node.js image in Pro. Uh, I don't know if someone has experience with CI/CD, wants to help with this, but this is something that we definitely want. So if someone is keen on starting contributing, also so this should be straightforward because the website already has it. Um, so yeah, I can also I'm gonna, I guess my action item is that I'm gonna put a little bit more documentation on what we need to do. But it's open for new contributors. Uh, so I'm gonna leave this here. Then we have this issue, 3.5 downgrade support. I'm afraid of closing this one like this easily, but we already have 3.5 downgrade support. Um, I don't know. I think I don't know if Vivek or someone else work on this one. I think it was just mostly Siyuan. So I was hoping that maybe Siyuan will be here. But I think we may be able to close this task. So maybe we just leave it for next time that Siyuan is around. Henry, were you involved at all in this
I
or?
think Bogdan was working on this for like a little bit, and I don't know what happened after that. I can ask him and see if he wants to follow up on this issue as well.
Yeah, but the thing is that we even have documentation on how to do the 3.5 to 3.4 downgrade, and it was like the big thing that Sijuan did. But I don't know why we have this pull request, like this issue still open.
Yeah.
Um, and
Yeah,
then
I wasn't
there's
working on this. So, and Syrian's on vacation this week, so maybe we can leave it for the next time we do triage.
okay. So that's why she's not here. Okay. So yeah, maybe and there's also an attached pull request that seems like pretty much seems old and highly likely we don't need it because we already have the downgrade support. All right, so let's just leaving it for next triage meeting to have the UN's confirmation. And then we have these three new things that came up since our last meeting. Can we use NFS storage class as PVC for HCD? This sounds a lot like a support question rather than an issue or a feature.
Yeah, that's a support question, and I'm happy to respond to it. And then we can
Okay,
close it.
okay.
Okay.
So do you want me to move it or you want to move it? Convert to a so we usually convert it to a discussion. All right, so I'm just gonna comment on here quickly.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Discuss during our triage meeting, moving to a discussion as this is a support question to comment, convert to discussion, Q&A. And I think what James does is that then he later, so here he's gonna remove this one. All right. Move to a discussion. Okay, so since last time so there's this one. Configure Bootstrap timeout for existing clusters. this is so I initially also thought that may have been a support question, but I think maybe we want like a tech lead to say if we want this or we don't want this. So I think basically what he wants to do is to remove the hard-coded 10-second timeout because he was having issues in a PostgreSQL setup. Um, but this is Patroni, so I don't know if it should be here or it should be in the repository because we don't officially support other backend other than bvault.
Well, it's not another backend. This is another support question. Patroni actually uses etcd.
Okay.
So Patroni is an application on top of etcd, not an alternate backend for it.
Okay.
So, yeah, let me take this one. I can refer them to where the Patroni
Awesome.
stuff is.
All right, so I'm
Okay.
also gonna move it to a discussion then. Discuss during our triage meeting. This is a support question, so right.
Wait, he's actually asking for a feature.
Yeah.
So the whole Patroni thing might be a red herring in this.
Uh-huh. So yeah, I initially also thought that may be a support question, but then he's asking that he wants to remove or to decrease the timeout. So he's basically pointing to this.
Yeah, but that's our timeout.
Yeah, that's our time. So it's in here, 10-second, the timeout.
Yeah, so it's actually a feature request.
Yeah. All right, so let me just remove or I can edit my comment.
Okay.
So do we want Marek's or Ben's input on this? Or he can also open a pull request, but maybe we actually want their blessing, I guess. All right.
Yeah, I mean he's not proposing to implement it, so this is an unstaffed feature request, and so the decision is whether it's a good feature request that nobody's working on, or whether it's a bad feature request that we're going to say no, we're not doing that.
Okay.
I mean, I would tend to think it's the latter. As in, yeah, it would be nice to have a configuration variable for that, but it's not a priority. But I don't know what the drawbacks of making that configurable would be. Like, do we have other code that assumes that it's going to be 10 seconds?
I feel like someone has already do remember like someone saying that adding new members it was taking a very long time. So maybe this is the root cause. So yeah, I don't know. Let's nudge maybe Benjamin and Marek and see what they think. So let me add the triage. Stage triage. Right.
Yeah, well, and you can imagine under some edge circumstances, etc., it might take longer than 10 seconds to bootstrap, right? So you can see other uses for this if it's not too difficult to implement if somebody decides they want to work on it.
I mean, technically, now that we will have feature flags, feature gates, could be done very easily. So maybe, maybe he can just open a pull request for the. All right. So also since last time that we spoke, how are we on time? We have 7 more minutes. So since last time we spoke, there's this. So I think this may need like more investigation and we may not be able to cover it in 7 minutes. but so this is a new bug when a client connects to the gRPC proxy with an etcd cluster that has authentication enabled. New clients connecting after the auth token TTL has expired will not receive. So this sounds very familiar. All right. I think we actually covered this last week. Yeah, all right. So we actually covered this last week, but we actually didn't do or 2 weeks ago, we never do the triage, I guess because no one followed this up. So last time we spoke, and I think Josh, you were also here. I think we said that doesn't make sense to use the TTL if it has expired for a new client. So why is it trying to reuse the? Yeah, so I feel like this is not a bug. Um, Clients connect to the proxy after the client's token expires should be able to establish the watch successfully and get events, but why is he trying to use the same token if it has expired? Um, so I feel like this is invalid.
Or just not explained correctly.
All right, so let's do this. We covered this in our previous triage meeting, and today again. By reading the description, it doesn't sound to be a bug to try to use an expired token to establish a new connection, or at least that's what we understand from the description. Can you please clarify? Over there. Right, and I guess technically we can also add another one that it's waiting for more evidence.
Yeah.
All right, so triaged. Right, I think last one. So this just came in bvault. So here there was some discussion before. So basically, when we implemented the logger in bvault, we decided to go with an interface that supports SAP, Uber's SAP, and it doesn't support slog. I did. So he's saying that he needs to implement some kind of wrapper bridge interface to support slog. Slog is native from Golang. So I did a minimal bridge interface which works, but I don't know if we want to do this in Bvault because maybe next someone is going to say, oh, it doesn't work for logROS, and then we will do another bridge. So I don't know if it doesn't sound like the best idea, but technically slog is part of the Golang's stdlib. Uh, so yeah, I think we may need to have Ben's input on this one. All right, so we have just 3 minutes, so I guess I'm gonna follow up on this one after we hang up. I think last time, see you, and also I think in a community meeting, she said that there's several pull requests in Augur and that don't have reviews. So there's also an invitation for someone to also review this pull request because she has a lot of things on her plate and she will could definitely use the help reviewing these pull requests. So if you have time and you want to start contributing, you can just start reviewing. You actually don't need to be a member to review. It's open, the invitation, it's open to anyone who wants to contribute. And I
Hey,
think that's
Ivan, I had a question about the regression in 3516, if you have a
mhm,
minute.
yes.
I was just looking for like I just want to understand it better maybe. My only question was like how are like IOPS connected to HCD sleeping any lesser than 10 milliseconds, right? So my understanding of the issue is that initially everything was what do you call it used to be a static 10 milliseconds after each compaction batch. And then we made it configurable. So we introduced a ticker. And ticker is kind of like sometimes inconsistent where it'll drop ticks to make up for like slow receivers, right? So that I understand. But what has this got to do with IOPS that Seratius mentions like right below that? Do you know by any chance?
And that's unfortunately not my area of expertise.
Got it. No
So
problem. I was
yeah,
just curious. Okay.
yeah. So yeah, I think so. Actually, I think so. I was reading this morning, and I think even Benjamin already like gave a pretty well detailed uh
Correct.
post
Yeah, yeah,
about
yeah.
the
I read this one. Yeah, this is the exact one that I read. But
uh-huh,
he doesn't mention anything about IOPS in this issue. But
uh-huh,
below, like the discussion is like just mostly about IOPS. So I was
I see.
wondering how they were interconnected. Like, I mean, I'm just missing some bridge between this and that. So it's fine. But yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, I have a hard stop right now, but maybe you can comment on this if you have questions regarding it.
Yeah, yeah, I'll do that. Yep, yep.
All right.
Awesome.
So
Thank you.
thank you very much to everyone, and see you next week in the community meeting.